So today's vlog is going to be how to get to the top of the Hollywood sign above Mount Lee in the Santa Monica Mountains. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Vegas Wonderland here at the top of the Hollywood sign. So we're going to start out at the beginning, at the bottom at Canyon Drive. Show you all the little shortcuts, ins and outs if you want to see the sign from the front, and right here at the back. Go and see what. So unfortunately, the most common used way used to be on Beechwood Canyon. Drive all the way up Beechwood Canyon, and that little parking lot next to the place that you could ride those horses, the Hollywood Hills horses, is now closed, which it closed about a few months ago. So now the new spot, and get here early because it's going to be quite busy place to find a spot if you're lucky. But the new location is located on Canyon Drive and would be pretty much 2 or 3 streets away from Beechwood. So just go right on Canyon Drive, and they got this huge parking lot. Very high fire hazard safety zone, no smoking. And like I was saying earlier, this is the second parking structure. Not a whole lot too many vehicles can park here, but it is a couple minutes closer. So from the parkings, just start going straight up, follow everybody else, and then eventually come upon this little curve here, and you get the first glimpse of the sign. So continue going right up this trail and make quite a few turns, getting there. So right there in the center, that red and white metal pillar is right where the sign is at. So it's still coming up from this direction, all the way turning, and then right there you'd see first garbage can. So go ahead and continue left, zigzag right, back and forth, all the way up to the hill, to eventually right over there. So right in this corner, right up this trail, right there down in the center will be downtown LA. Got the sign right there in the center. So when you get to the midway, halfway point, like I was mentioning earlier, all along here, there is a little bench here. So roughly halfway up the sign, it could last anywhere from 30 minutes up to, 40, 45, 50 minutes even. Bring definitely water, a lot of water, stay hydrated. So halfway up the sign, so it's about 20, 25 minutes probably. Almost there, you get 2 views. Walk to the front of it, or you can spend a few more minutes still walking and get the back side of the sign. So get the back side of the sign, you're roughly a couple hundred yards away from the back of the sign where they have all security and the wires. Pretty cool view. 0.8 miles to the left to the sign. So just upon making the halfway mark, this Park Rangers courtesy water station. Earlier there was 3, but now there's 1. But this is very, very ice cold water, courtesy of the Park Rangers here at the Canyon Hills. It definitely helps. So right straight ahead in the center is where that park bench was, which was the midway point from starting all the way down there, zigzagging, getting to the bench, going left and then right. So we're going to end up right here at the second part of the garbage can. And then right there in the center is the horseback trail riding down on Beechwood Canyon, riding horsebacks in the hills. And right there at the antenna is where the sign is, so the front part of the sign. So right down there is where the horses and all their stables are, the business for the Hollywood Hills, riding horses on the trail back, all their stables. It's all down there. And this would be where the sign is. So getting there. So virtually when you get to basically the third garbage can and this sign, talk about the rattlesnakes, brush area, you could either go, if you want to see the front of the sign, turn left. But if you want to go to the back of the sign, you got to go right. Because the sign is just right in that general area. So the front of the sign is left, and the back of the sign is right. Right when you get to this garbage can, and this sign coming off of that area. Now the original Hollywood sign was built in 1923 by a real estate development. And originally it said Hollywood Land. And then unfortunately in 1931, little known actress Peg Entwistle committed suicide off the H. At the time, the H was 45 feet high. One night, drove to the canyon, climbed the hill, and went to the back of the sign and jumped off the letter H. 1931. And over the decades, the sign started to become irreadable. Letters were falling down, decomposing, because it was made basically of wood, so all the bad weather over the decades started falling apart. And then 1978, the original Hollywood Trust Fund started setting up where big-time celebrities and people with a lot of money could sponsor a letter. And part of this deal, Playboy founder Hugh Hefner bought the letter Y, and also rock musician Alice Cooper bought one of the letter O's. So in 1978, the sign became virtually new, all new lettering, metal, 50 feet high, which sign we know today. In the year 2000, the Y2K, the little sign was lit up with all kinds of bulbs to represent the millennium. Legal place that you can go. All these conglomeration of people all standing here in the LA heat, looking at the sign from the very front. So now virtually you want to just go backwards and go behind the sign, and then you get roughly a couple hundred or so yards behind the fence where you can overlook downtown in Hollywood. And since after decades of being right here on Mount Lee, over the years, all kinds of vandals, tourists trespassing, climbing the sign, and I think in the mid-1990s is when they started with security cameras, night lights, floodlights, where it's virtually... And now if you do climb the sign and get away, all it really is basically just a little community service, maybe a couple $100 fine or so. But typically, climb the Hollywood sign and then you'd be running down the hill right to the bottom. Average typical day. Downtown in the background. At the very top, you can see right there in the center, right above the W, is virtually the very top. So that's where we're going to go. As to, the sign has also had many altercations. A couple years ago, the Holly Weed, back in the 90s, beat Navy, UCLA. So it's seen many different variations, but still love those 50-foot high letters. Also being a sign right there for as a backyard to all these houses. This is virtually what the backyard looks like. From the front doors to the side doors on the homes. Open the door window and they just get to look at the sign, the mountain. Got some construction work going on there. So right after you visit the front of the sign, you got that water tower and all these people zigzagging back through these little paved roads. And right here, you go left for the sign and right to the back of the sign where the garbage can was and that signs. So you follow up this little zigzag section, you get to right here. So there's the sign. So go up this little pathway and it curves right there in the center, more back and forth to the top. This is definitely quite a trek. All these zigzagging roadways, pathways, all maneuvering throughout the canyons. And right there, that little antenna spear, that's where the sign is. So, a few more minutes. All along here, the San Fernando Valley. All so majestic. Just looks so beautiful and so peaceful from up here. And upon finally getting to the back of the sign, you come across this little plaque here. Conejo Park was added to the Griffith Park with the help and support of donors worldwide. This was unveiled December 2010. Thank you to everyone who helped the Trust for Public Land to save Cahuenga Peak from all of us to explore and enjoy today and for the generations to come. So upon finally arriving at this monument plaque right here at the fence, turn left, and the back of the sign is going to be located a couple hundred yards away. Now we arrived. No hiking allowed to the sign. And right behind the fence here, we've made it. To the back letters. So here, right behind the sign, is what the back of the Hollywood sign looks like. Ladders, scaffolding for the workers to maintain, preserve the sign. And even recently, fans and tourists, loved ones, couples, would put locks on the fences for the love forever. And in 2013, on the sign's 90th anniversary, Kelly-Moore Paints spent a couple months giving the sign a facelift, completely scraping off the front of the sign's old paint. All started underneath it getting spray paint, all graffiti, and hundreds upon hundreds of gallons of Kelly-Moore paint. Spent a few months totally giving the sign a complete makeover, upgrading. So when you get up here from the sign, you can see this barbed wire fence, controls in there. You're going to make this tiny little path up here, and this is going to be virtually the top.
And it costs money. Like, how are you going to have no driving space, no parking space, far away from everything? Yes, filled.
Literally at the very top, at the sign.
I've been living here for like 7 months, but...
Welcome everybody, Vegas Wonderland here at the very top of the Hollywood sign. Hollywood in the back, downtown in the back, virtually the very tip top of the mountain. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like, comment, but very much appreciated. Go and subscribe. Until the next video.